Thank you for tuning into the Blind Mike Project with Blind Mike and Craig.
Go to blindmike.net.
This is Gearhead Country. And without further ado, your host, Blind Mike Geary.
Wow.
The Blind Mike Project.
Wow.
I feel like a real radio guy.
I know.
You still feel the need to talk first. You threw a wow in before I spoke.
That was you.
Oh, that was me.
I thought that was you talking.
I like it.
Yes.
You did. I can tell you disagree, and you won't tell me for some reason.
So here's my thought is I like it. I do like it.
Okay.
I'm one, just not used to it.
Right.
And two, if we got to a spot where, we were doing this every day, that would be a beautiful open. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's why you don't like it? I don't understand.
I do like it.
I'm confused. I'll tell you the only part, well, two things. And this is not Hack Ride. Thank you. You're doing a terrific job. I think you learned a lot from last week. And the one thing I would say is we could maybe first of all, what's on the screen? Describe it to me when that intro plays.
Gears moving around. It's
okay, all right. So it's not me in drag or any, he's not doing any wacky pranks on me.
No, I'm in a thong in the corner though.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
that's not true, is it?
No,
I never know with this guy.
That could be true, I guess. Yeah.
So my only two things is the three blind mice thing. I think I'd like that switched out with like an Ojeda rally cry of some. If you can find some clip of like Ojeda or someone, Brendan Schaub, that applies to like opening a show, I think that would fit better.
Yeah, if there was three of us, that would also make sense.
And also, like the blind thing, like I know my name. The name of the show is Blind Mike Project, but like it's not a subject on the show or anything,
Unless we do questions, and that's all.
Yeah, then inevitably it comes in. But my other thing, here's my only real critique, is I've never heard a producer announced in an intro. It's not Train by Day, Joe Rogan, and Jamie Vernon by night. The fuck? It's my time to shine, Hack Ride. Jesus.
How dare you, Hack Ride? A series of intros, he says. This is just the first one.
Oh, okay. All right. This is first. I do like the music, though. That's the main thing, is I like that music.
He wrote that himself.
It makes me feel like a real radio guy,
He was messaging me yesterday, sending me like the pieces of it, and I was like, damn, dude, that was quick. Like, he's like, I'm just gonna grab my guitar real quick.
He's good. All right, we got a lot to get into today. No Hack Ride talk, although I think Jerry Seinfeld might stop by later in the program.
Yeah. One last Hack Ride thing.
Yeah.
The first Coffee Mug Club mug is up in the store now.
Boy, Craig really knows how to capitalize on a joke. Remember that thing from 2 weeks ago that we mentioned, guys?
Yeah. Hey, if people like it, then we'll keep going. If they don't, then it will be the Craig of the Month part 2.
Yeah, go check out our store. Go to blindmike.net, folks, as you heard in that great intro. If you want to support the things we're doing here, go to blindmike.net, subscribe to the YouTube, check all the free links, Apple, Spotify, Google, all that. That goes for Why You Laughing and WATS as well. And if you like what you see, like what you hear, hop on the Patreon. And I don't know. That's it. I don't know why I thought there was something else to say. Go to blindmike.net.
Why are you laughing?
All right, we got a lot to get to today. So the first thing I want to start with is this Bryan Johnson Shuli feud. So there is a lot of drama around the. I mean, I refer to it and think of it as the WATP world because it's kind of. If it wasn't for Carl, none of this horse shit would be happening. It's really all his fault at the end of the day. But there's been this weird kind of like subtle tension with Carl and Shuli lately. Carl's a very nice guy. I think he doesn't want to completely shit on Shuli. He did a little bit a couple weeks ago. But overall, it seems like he likes him and doesn't want to get into the weeds with him or anything. Bryan Johnson had a different perspective. Bryan Johnson is kind of the voice of certainly Reddit that I've seen lately. A lot of people don't really care for what Shuli's been up to. And I think Bryan Johnson has kind of put that into words, and he's made an alliance with Chad Zumock. So a lot going on here. So let's just get right into it. I think he just kind of sets up what his issue is.
He just, he doesn't want me to come on and talk about Shuli. I guess it's because it's his friend, and he's like, oh, he's just another asshole who wants to say something. He's a nobody. What's he doing? Making hundreds of dollars over there at Compound? Bob, if you're hearing this, go check out my Tell 'em Steve Dave Patreon. And if you don't die of a fucking heart attack, maybe you'll make it back to MLC. I'm not sure.
Whoa.
The guy's a fucking chain smoking cadaver who says nothing, who sits by and lets Shuli fucking talk his dumb shit. And that's what I was coming to MLC today for. I want Shuli to retire. Yeah, I'm calling for Shuli's retirement.
I thought that was so funny when I heard that because it's hilarious to come out. A lot of people have come out and been like, hey, this guy sucks. He sucks at stand-up. He sucks at podcasting, whatever. Don't listen to his show. I've never heard anyone call for a man's resignation.
I know.
All I'm asking is that he retires. I know that was very funny phrasing. But it's interesting because Bryan Johnson doesn't have a dog in the fight, really. He kind of came out of nowhere and took the voice of the fans. He's standing up for Carl in a way. And I know Carl said he was very intrigued by it. I don't know Carl that well. I know we do a show together. By the way, that Bryan Johnson listens to. He's a big WATS fan. He mentions that in this interview. I don't know if he knows. I don't know if he cares for me at all. I picture him like watching WATS and giggling his ass off when Carl speaks, and then just crossing his arms when I talk.
Just
I wish this guy would retire.
He's stroking his beard, waiting for you to stop talking.
But I think Carl likes the fun aspect of this stuff, so doesn't really want to like get into it with Shuli or anything. But I suspect he enjoys when someone maybe takes the mantle and runs in the battle for him, like Bryan Johnson's doing here.
This next one, I guess, just a continuation. Man, I don't know what to get in the title.
Yeah, he pretty much just goes up. The whole thing is just him going off on Shuli, pretty much. I don't know if the clips need more setup than that, but
I started talking and I went, just watch.
That's probably what he's nervous about. He's probably nervous that, like his money's going to get fucked with. So if I come on and talk shit about Shuli, Shuli's not going to be happy about it. And he has the same mentality that Shuli does. Because last week, E-Rock tried to get Shuli to come on Would You Kindly, the show that I do on Compound Media with him. And Shuli's like, I don't even know this guy. And Bob is like, he doesn't even know Shuli. It's like, you don't have to know someone to not like their brand of humor to think that they suck. Obviously, lots of people think I suck. I don't know any of them personally.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I get it.
I know E-Rock and Carl are both going to be like, are you out of your fucking mind going on Chad's show? Yes, I am.
Yes,
I dig you. I dig your antics, Mud Shark. I like the way you operate.
I don't know if he's like trolling Chad. Again, I just like the way he talks. I like the way you operate, Mud Shark. But I don't know if he's trolling Chad there or what his end game was with all that. But he does make Chad almost come off likable in this whole thing.
He sure does.
Like Chad comes up, and that was my whole thing. The times we've talked about Chad, it's like his problem was, I kind of thought it was interesting what he was doing with Kumia's cucks, because it was turning the camera on guys like Carl and Steel Toe and shit like that. So I was like, yeah, maybe there's an audience for that. But I was like, I don't know if Chad's the guy to do it because he's so angry. He's not having any fun with it. But in this Bryan Johnson thing, you kind of saw like, oh, this is a guy I could be around and not blow my fucking brains out.
I was gonna say, would you feel comfortable though in front of Bryan Johnson getting irrationally angry? I feel like he would start smacking me or something.
Yeah, Bryan Johnson's got some fire in his belly, it seems like. But,
Yeah.
well, that's what I don't know. Is Bryan Johnson seems like he's got a real axe to grind, but maybe he just likes starting shit. I don't know what it is because he's not involved in any of this. I don't think.
Yeah, principled uncertainty says Chad was just confused when someone came on and they weren't attacking him.
Wait, you don't hate me?
Do you like the cut of my jib?
You're not trying to trick me into saying the N-word? What's happening here? All right, now we're talking about the Shuli network, right?
Yep.
So this is interesting. It's my job now because of WATS to be on Reddit. I have no choice but to read this stuff. Trust me, I don't enjoy having to read about Shuli, but it's my job. I have to read all this gossip. And what I have seen is nothing but questions about this Shuli network and wondering why it exists, why their pay scale is what it is. It's very confusing to a lot of people. And so Bryan brings that up.
What do you think of Shuli taking 20% of the super chats?
I think it's bullshit. Well, first off, the whole Shuli network thing is like, first it's the Shuli network, and then when people call them on it, it's a joke.
Right.
And if that's humor, I don't get it. I don't understand the joke. Like, where's the joke in naming a network after yourself and then telling people you're just kidding around? And Carl from WATP is very kind to Uncle Rico. Like a couple weeks ago or a week ago when he was on the show, he was talking about how Uncle Rico does it the best because they got 3 comedians, which I couldn't disagree with more. I think they have 0 comedians on that show.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike Morse, give me a break.
Shots fired.
He has Mike Morse has a website teaching other people how to be funny.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know much about Mike. I don't know much about.
Nobody does because nobody fucking cares to look into him. He's a nobody.
We're gonna have to get into that. I've sent. I don't know if you saw that, Greg. I sent you the link to that website.
So I saw the very top, and I went, "I'm just gonna save this for the show."
We'll get into that in a moment. But first, I do want to give some thoughts because Bryan Johnson's bringing something up that I've toiled over here a little bit. But if you guys don't know Shuli or what he does or anything, his biggest show, I think, or like the most attention he's got, is the Uncle Rico show, which focuses solely on Stuttering John. So basically, he went on Carl's show a couple times. He had some incident with John, and that made him talk about John once. Shuli saw that episode did good numbers, and I think he just kept doing it. And I liked that show when I listened to it. That's the weird thing about Shuli and the hate he's getting is like, I don't find him unfunny. You know what I mean? Like, I've never listened to him and been like, we got to make fun of this guy, But I've also never been like, we got to rush out to a Shuli show and see it live. I've never had that thought either. But he's not like, I don't think of him as mockably bad. And hey, if you guys want to send me clips that'll change my mind, feel free. But
Didn't Chad just open for him like a few weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. Yeah. So Chad, he hasn't totally changed his ways. Like I said, he was good in this segment, but I don't know how much of a different guy he is. But the reason I say I've thought a lot about this is we are essentially ripping off WATP like right now by talking about this basically. Now, I'm of the mindset that like I have similar interests to Carl, and the show that I do with him doesn't encompass any of this shit. So like we're going to talk about Opie later also. There's something going on with Opie that I find very interesting. So I'm not going to not talk about that. Like I'm interested in it, but I'm not going to not talk about it because Carl also talks about it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, we've talked O&A stuff literally since the beginning. So
yeah, and so my mindset is like you can talk about whoever the fuck you want, like if that's what you're interested in. Now, where Shuli gets into a weird territory is that's never what he did. He's never done a show where he's focusing on lol cows or whatever these people are called. He never did that before. Saw what Carl was doing, took that and really drove it into the ground. Where will also talk about people that Carl doesn't talk about and that Carl has no interest in. Whereas Shuli really focused on one guy to the point where John hasn't done a show now in 7 months.
He keeps teasing that he's going to come annihilate everyone that talks about him, and then it never happens.
Yeah, he hasn't done a show in 6 or 7 months, and yet the Uncle Rico show still somehow exists. That's crazy to me. That you're really driving into the ground.
Hackride says John fucked with Shuli constantly and tried to get him fired multiple times. Shuli always turned the other cheek until Carl convinced him otherwise.
Did Carl convince him to do that show? I don't think so.
I have no idea.
But no, that is true that John was like antagonizing Shuli for a long time. That's why I do understand why Shuli would want to talk about that. But it's like, if we did only Ojeda for an hour and a half every single week, people would be like, all right, yeah, he's a weird guy, but enough. We got it.
Super chat from Box Eating Daddy says, have a great weekend.
Well, thank you, buddy. You as well. Box Eating Dad gave me some information. A lot of good information. I won't get into it, but good intel regarding WATS. We might have a stuttering John on our hands.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Does that have to do with the tweet I saw earlier?
Well, yeah. I don't reveal my sources, but someone may have given me that.
Next, I'm talking about who's funnier.
By the way, I got one thing I should say. They were talking about Shuli keeping super chat money. Here, I keep all the super chat money, so feel free, guys, to fire away. I mean, if you were holding back because you were worried Craig takes it all, don't let that stop you. All right?
I don't get any. This is them talking about who's funnier.
Who or who? I don't remember this. Well, we'll find out.
That's just what it's labeled.
Carl, I think is what they're talking about. Oh, you know what? But first, let's go into this Mike Morse thing. Do you know who Mike Morse is?
I know the name, but it's also kind of a common name.
He was on Stern 20 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And he does a podcast with Shuli. He's on that Uncle Rico show. Mm-hmm. And he, out of nowhere, took this weird shot at Carl where I guess he said, I don't know if I've heard the clip, but the way it's been described to me is that he said the Uncle Rico show's worst episode is better than Carl's best, which is a wild statement. And based on the numbers, I would say the masses seem to agree. It's, maybe critically, maybe it's one of those where the critics love Uncle Rico and the box office numbers show that who are these podcasts is doing far better. But this Mike Morse guy is interesting. Now, am I to understand that he's a comedy teacher? A professor of comedy of sorts?
Yeah, you go to him if you're like, man, I just can't be funny.
We looked at one of these guys once, didn't we?
Yes, and he got back to me, and then you said you didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I got it. What did he call himself? The comedy teacher or the comedy
coach or something?
Comedy coach. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the comedy coach. Craig reached out to him and it was like, yeah, he'll do the show. And I was like,
It was honestly too quick of an answer.
If we did, we would just be fucking with him. That I don't know if I like. It's weird because essentially what I'm saying is I don't know if I like fucking with people to their face. I'd just rather do it behind their back. But it feels different if we're having him on and like subtly, like the audience gets that we're fucking with him and he doesn't. That feels more like, just kind of real dickhead move,
I love that. That was my favorite part of the O&A stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They did do that very well. But, so we got to look at this Mike Morse's comedy website. I could brush up on some comedy. Maybe I'll finally get out there and do some if I learn from Mike Morse.
I can read you the welcome to the website. It says,
please.
Hi, I'm Mike.
Hello. I'm also Mike.
Wow. I already like this guy. What a connection. Welcome to Right Funny Right Now.
How is the second right spelled?
RIGHT.
Thank God. Okay. All right.
I wish he swapped them and it was the first one instead. If you're looking for someone funny to write funny stuff for you, or someone to teach you how to write funny stuff, or to actually be funny for your event, you've come to the right place.
Good. I was hoping so because I know the website and typed it in.
Writefunny.net.
What are the chances you would stumble on this like completely accidentally and be like, oh shit, they teach comedy here? Jesus.
So the first image you see on this website is, you know, the Porky Pig outro? That's all, folks.
Craig, do I know it? I can't get it's all that's on TikTok. It's very topical right now. The Looney Tunes are what's hot on the streets, if you're talking funny.
Well, on the top it says Mike Morse. It has a picture of him pointing his finger and says, "That's me, folks."
Whoa. No, it doesn't.
It's on the screen right now for anyone watching along.
No, I can't see it, so it's like Schrodinger's cat. I'm going to assume you're lying.
Everyone, make sure you tweet this image at Mike.
It doesn't exist to me if I don't see it.
Every time you think Mike tweets after getting advice from this guy, put this picture underneath.
Describe to me again. It says, "That's me, folks."
That's me, folks, instead of all.
What does that mean?
No clue, but it's hilarious.
That's me, folks.
Uh-huh.
What's him?
You know,
and he's pointing at us. So is it what he's pointing at him?
So you'd think it would be him pointing at himself, but he's literally pointing somewhere else.
Right. You're saying like, that's me over there. I'm not me. The guy saying that I'm me. That's me over there. That's Mike Morse. It'd be great if that wasn't a picture of Mike Morse.
That would be funny.
He's just pointing. He's like, that's me. I'm off screen.
Then underneath is like a sample tweet.
Okay.
Of how funny he is from just a few days ago.
Oh, good.
So someone tweeted, "Before you masturbate, just know there's millions of angels that are looking at you." And he quote tweeted it.
Okay.
Said 3 takeaways from this. 1, there's a severe overcrowding problem in heaven.
Okay.
2, angels must have really.
Hold on. When you said 3 I knew this was going to be a Tom Myers-esque, just staggering to a punchline. This is so much work to get to the end result.
The problem is, I think these are all supposed to be punchlines.
Oh, I know. No, I get it. Believe me, I know the Tom Myers formula very well. It's a trickle-down effect. Tom Myers taught this guy, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He said, be as long-winded as you can. You want to jam a lot of half jokes into a joke.
Also, this is like right after the "come on, hire me." This is the first thing you see.
Okay, I'm sorry. Start over. I want to learn.
3 right before you masturbate, just know there are millions of angels looking at you from heaven. 3, Mike writes, my 3 takeaways from this.
All right.
1, there is a severe overcrowding problem in heaven.
All right, I'm laughing. Do you learn how to be a crowd member in this as well? Can I learn how to laugh at these?
I think you're supposed to laugh as soon as the sentence is done.
There should be an instructional video on how to laugh at Mike Morse.
It should say laugh in parentheses.
You know what? Carl's a great laugher. He gets mocked for that a lot. But Carl should start a website where he teaches people how to laugh at Mike Morse's comedy.
I get shit for laughing all the time, too.
Carl should teach the folks. Carl should go to shows, Mike Morse's shows, that I've heard are not exactly full. So there might be a seat for Carl if he wants to stick around. But Carl should go to these shows and warm up the audience and be like, hey, guys, this is how you're going to want to laugh at these jokes. Take notes.
So, overcrowding problem in heaven. I wish, actually, instead of laugh, it should just say boom in parentheses. 2, angels must have really, really, really good eyesight.
It should say pause for merriment. Pause for getting an elbow to the ribs.
Not Ben in the chat right. Craig is losing weight. Parentheses laugh.
We all laugh. Is that funny, Mike? Can we laugh at that?
3. Glad to have found this out because I perform better with an audience. This is so bad.
I like that he was like, listen, I can't decide. Boy, I got 3 gems here. You know what? I'm just going to tweet all of them.
Imagine reading this and being like, where's my fucking credit card?
Honey, I know. Listen, I know the magic lessons didn't pay off. I swear to God, this guy, I mean, he is the key to success.
So that's all to the homepage. Should we look at? Here's a section called "Stuff I've Done."
Well, are there videos of him teaching us?
Ooh,
That's what I
know.
want.
Let's see.
I want to learn. God damn it! Do we have to
Uh,
pay for this knowledge?
I thought so.
Oh,
Oh yeah, let's connect.
how much?
He's on Mad TV.
What's the price of hilarity?
It doesn't say. You got to message him. It's like one of those fancy restaurants that
This
doesn't
is
have
a
the
fucking
price.
Bangladesh market. I gotta haggle with the guy.
3 kiss bitch gives 1 chicken.
Fuck. All right, I'll give you a goat and my firstborn if you give me to sell out a comedy club.
He's gonna be August 27th. That's his most recent date. He'll be in Jersey.
What do you mean most recent?
Oh,
you mean his next date?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
And that's the only one. So he's that funny.
The schedule's a little light. He's got a lot of teaching time on his hands.
He has a section called "You Like Me."
What does that mean?
I don't fucking know. I don't get this website at all.
You like me. No one's ever clicked on it before.
Oh, these are Lisa. Okay, wait. Lisa Lampanelli wrote a review for Mike Morse.
Oh, good. Has Charlie Chaplin chimed in at all? How many years ago was Lisa Lampanelli funny?
I don't know. Remember last year we showed? It wasn't last year.
No, it certainly wasn't. It was not the last time she was on stage.
No. Joe Raiola and comedian / actor Dan
Joe Raiola sent you.
Seychoff. But anyway, the only one I know is Lisa Lampanelli.
Okay.
Let's read what she had to say. There aren't many writers out there who can punch up jokes for a squeaky clean Today Show appearance and completely filthy and vile roast.
Horrible endorsement for a comedian.
And everything in between.
You remember all Dave Chappelle's great Today Show appearances, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Where did I leave off? Mike Morse is at the top of that very short list. Anytime I've been stuck for the perfect punchline, Mike is there with choices no one in their right mind would come up with.
Oh, he's zany. This guy's nuts. Look out.
And I mean that in the very best possible way.
Oh, it's too bad the needle broke off my wacky meter when I saw that Clemmer video because I need it now.
Biggest takeaway from this, though, is that Lisa Lampanelli's crap has ghostwriters. Best possible way.
Yeah, so you're telling me Mike Morse knows how to write black dicks and fucking yeah, I take black dicks, N-word, fucking that's crazy.
Yeah. No, speaking of, we got someone spamming the chat with naughty words.
Well, hey.
I'm gonna put user in timeout. He can go.
Be civilized, folks.
Take a break. Mike Morse is without question the funniest person I know.
Whoa.
With that name. Haha.
Even the reviews are funny on this website.
Yeah.
Does the hilarity ever stop, Mike? Give us a break.
I don't think so.
Jesus Christ. I can't be reading all this funny.
Mike Morse is the absolute best writer I've ever used. I won't use anyone else. I needed help punching up a routine I do as a ventriloquist. Oh, God. Mike doesn't just write jokes. He created a story with an arc that also happens to be hilarious.
Mike actually invented taking a sip of water while the dummy makes a few wisecracks. That was him.
He created a story with an arc hilarious. His communication throughout the process is stellar. Thanks to Mike, I now have a rock solid 10 minutes to add to my act.
Hey, I'm rock solid thinking about how funny I'm going to be after all this.
Rock solid 10. I come buckets with a super chat. 29 minutes in and no titties. What the fuck, Geary?
This son of a bitch. he was in the WATS chat last night too, begging for tits.
Box eating dad says, "Stop, my pussy hurts." That was funny.
Oh my God, this Mike Morse he's too much.
All right, I think we have to continue. Stuff I've done. Let's see. Mad TV.
Okay,
The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
nice.
Comedy Central. Oh, this is just behind the scenes stuff, I think.
Oh, I want him to teach me his ways.
Help me help you to help me to help you helpfully. Oh God damn it, dude. That's a section.
Is he Dr. Seuss, for Christ's sake?
Yeah. Are you a comedian looking for a fresh and funny material that's written specifically for you and your comedy persona? Are you someone looking?
If you're asking yourself, why not just write it yourself? That's probably the way to go.
You know who knows you better than you? Me.
You know the best way to sound authentic and really like you're finding your voice? Have Mike Morse write for you. Have anyone write for you. You know how to sound authentic? Just have someone else do it. That's the best way to sound like it's really you.
Are you someone looking for a comedian for your event who can get laughs from any crowd?
No.
No. Are you a comedian who writes his or her own material but could benefit from collaborating with a seasoned pro?
Are you a shitty comedian? Have you figured out that you're a dog shit comedian? Well, do I have the solution for you? Come to Mike Morse's Comedy Academy.
This is a whole bunch of RUs.
Oh, let's hear them. I want to hear some more RUs.
Are you a person who's these are fucking stupid.
Okay.
Are you a person who has dreamed about doing stand-up comedy but doesn't know how to start putting together a set?
Okay.
Or are you a novice writer who wants to hone in comedic perspective?
Ah.
Are you a
Comedy
comedian?
rule of 4 there.
Yeah. Are you a comedian?
Oh,
or
5.
No, there's so many.
Jesus.
Yeah. Are you a comedian or entertainer who wants to strengthen your act and build memorable stage persona?
Okay, sure.
I'm looking up this dude's stand-up as soon as we're done reading this.
He better be hilarious.
He better be the funniest thing I've ever seen.
To be fair, he might be. I don't know his stand-up at all. I'm shitting on him before I've ever seen 1 minute of his stand-up.
Sam Young super chat. He says, Hack Ride is scary as hell. I'll never sleep again. Keep up the good work, fellas.
You got it, buddy. That's the goal, is we want to scare our audience away. That's what Hack Ride brings this show.
Day Love, $2 super chat says, have you ever wanted to bomb on stage? I did not need this guy to do that.
Have you ever wanted to lose the respect of your audience?
Oh, man.
Have you wanted to see looks of disinterest and befuddlement?
Are you curious what the back of everyone's head looks like?
Are you looking for a single file line to the exits?
Are you looking for your check early?
Watch his stand-up and we can't stop but laughing.
It's got to be hilarious.
We're grabbing our stomachs.
With this website in existence, it's got to be hilarious.
It sure as shit better be.
Are you a business professional who needs some humor injected into an upcoming speech or presentation?
Oh, geez. I mean,
Yes, I am. Now that you mention it.
I love a good humor injection.
There's nothing when you're talking about stock portfolios and someone hits you with a real good one.
Does he put on like a stethoscope? Like, does he dress up like a doctor for these injections?
I wish.
All right, brace yourselves. I hope there's costumes.
I wish that was in the background of these. And he's got the stethoscope up to the sentence.
Scrubs. He's in scrubs, but he's tied up in like caution tape. You don't want to mess with this guy. He's tied up in Band-Aids.
Are you looking for someone to write jokes, roast material, speeches, sketches, articles, or anything else with humorous bent to it?
We should hire him to write a speech, just a serious speech.
I know. Can you make a speech about this, but with no laughs?
No problem.
If you answered yes to all of these questions, you have a multiple personality disorder and should seek professional psychiatric help immediately.
Enough with the jokes. I can't, Mike. I can't stand to laugh this hard. Jesus, give me a break, will you?
I'm never gonna get through all this.
I like that this started. I forgot we were even talking about Bryan Johnson.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're never gonna get to everything we have today. Shit.
I mean, that was obvious from when I saw how many things we had.
Yeah.
Like all those Opie videos are like 4 minutes long.
Yeah, I
know. But if you answered yes to just one of these questions, I can help you.
Well, that's lucky.
Yeah.
What if he was like, then you come to the wrong place? I don't know what to tell you. You're out of options.
I said yes to two. I said yes to two of those. You think you can let me slide?
No, I've just asked you 9 questions. Would you believe that I have the solution to them? Yeah, Mike, we figured that out. We thought that might be why you were asking us.
From writing specialized material for individuals and events to working one-on-one with aspiring performers, I will bring the funny to any situation.
That's good. You know, it's weird. I don't see this on like Louis C.K.'s website. I don't see him assuring us how funny he is. It's strange how that works. I don't know why that is. He should do that.
Yeah, I need Box Eating Dad to do something for me, and that's email this guy and tell him you need just a real heavy-hitting, hilarious speech for a funeral you got coming up in a few weeks.
Don't fuck up this time. Remember,
the
show is Googleable.
We don't exist.
You don't know our names.
Tell him a funeral for a guy you kind of like, but for some reason you got picked to do his eulogy. Oh, see what we got. What other sections?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Box Eating Dad. All right. Guys, keep this quiet. Don't send this clip to him. All right? Please. Have him write a eulogy for Craig.
Yes. Hagrid's eating me. Let's see. It's alive and on stage. I saw that. You like me? Yeah, I saw that. Let's connect. For more information, I wonder if there's any jokes in this. Email me. All right, so here's all his info if you can't get through to him. But I feel like we have to look up his stand-up right now.
Well, he's left us no choice. Yeah, we have to at least watch one video. But watch one of the ones he put. Does he put them on his website?
No, which is not a great sign.
God damn it!
That's not a great sign.
What he puts on there because this is what he wants us to see. But
no, that's not a great sign. Mike Morse, stand up. First thing that popped up that was pretty funny was Mike Morse home run. So I just thought Chip Chipperson just happens to be a baseball player.
All right, let's see. He's swinging for the fences here. See if he delivers.
Comedian Mike Morse on his next movie in The Boss Factor.
I want to hear let's hear the home run one. No.
No, that was a baseball player.
Oh! I thought he titled it like, "Guys, I hit one out of the park." Here.
All right, so this is an older video because he's not old gray and has glasses in this one.
Okay.
But let me pop that up on the screen. MikeMorse.com. He's just so you know, he's standing in what looks like a set for someone promoting the book Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. There's just a palm tree, weird kid drawing. Okay. I think he's at Bananas.
Go Bananas.
Yeah. That's
all right, good. Happy 4th, everybody. You guys having a good 2008? Yeah.
Can I just say real quick? 2008, Jesus Christ.
I know.
Good God. We were in a different recession.
I come bucket super chat. 37 minutes. Wear titties. Earmarked for Vinny.
We're talking about Opie eventually, so we'll get there.
Yes.
Start off before we get started with the jokes. Tell you what happened to me a couple months ago. Get a call from my manager. He goes, Mike, you're not going to believe this. Just got a call from Steven Spielberg's production company. He wants you to star in his next movie. Oh, yeah. My manager. Yeah. And,
wait, what did I miss?
Did I say, he said, Mike, this is going to change
someone in the audience went, oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, why are people laughing already?
Just looking at
I
him.
like that. There's someone like, I know where he's going with this. This This is his Hot Pockets, man.
Here lies Craig. He ate himself to death. Parentheses, laughter break.
You'll be getting more movie deals. You'll be getting your own sitcom. You'll be starring in movies and theaters around the country with your stand-up act. I go, great, when do they start? He says, they begin filming on July 5th. I said, whoa, tell Spielberg thanks, but no thanks. I'm at a Holiday Inn in Hasbrook Heights on July 5th. I do for you people.
Oh,
that was the joke?
The confidence and the swagger he said that with.
Steven Spielberg called. You could just do that. That's such an easy you could do that every day. Like every day I could come on this podcast and be like, hey, fucking, Joe Rogan called and wanted to have me on, but I'm here with you folks. But
Doodle says they're just laughing because he said that he had a manager.
Like, oh, come on, you card. Enough.
Please.
You just got on stage. Don't make us laugh already.
We saw the car you got out of.
We see the bananas behind you.
I
like, hold on one second. I keep thinking of this. I don't know. Are there actual bananas on stage here?
Drawn on ones.
Oh, because they're used to, I don't know if it was Poughkeepsie or where it was, but I guess they used to have like real bananas hanging. And Patrice used to talk about, I love to imagine the guy after someone bombs, like going up there and having to change the bananas.
I hate the winter, man. Worst part about me for winter is the weather. Not the weather, the way the weathermen talk about it on TV. Those obnoxious pricks, you see these guys, right? It's 17 degrees outside, but with the wind.
Hold on.
It feels.
I pray he doesn't talk about how easy a weatherman's job. There's no way that's where it's going, right?
I hope not, but judging by his website, sure.
I legitimately haven't seen this, so it's probably not. But that would be wild if that's the turn it takes.
No kidding.
Like -3. It's the only thing we have a wind chill factor for. The only thing we have a factor for. You don't go to your job at the office. I've only been at work for 45 minutes, but because of the asshole boss factor, it feels like 9.5 hours.
Wait, maybe I'm seeing this because I want to, but there's a lot of Tom Myers in him.
I think you want to.
Am I wrong?
Tom Myers is funnier.
The joke structure is very Tom Myers. Like, believe me, when we do Why Are You Laughing, I always talk about influences. I study this stuff. I'm a student.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike, I'm no comedian either. I'm a student of the game. I'm just a student of the game. And
That's so insulting as you say that as he's on stage.
Listen, neither of us are comedians. I hear a lot of Tom Myers in this. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm hearing.
His weatherman voice sounds like Tom Myers.
Let's find it. Can we find a newer video? I feel like it's not fair to watch something from 15 years ago.
That could be a hard ask. Let me find out. Let's see. Stern. Fire.
Greg, bring me plutonium, would you? Which would be more difficult?
We watch his Friars Club roast of Dennis Rodman.
I wonder how original that is. I mean, how original? How recent that is?
Or another clip from the exact same bananas set.
It's the Friars roast of Shecky Green.
Should we see how he does with this roast? Because that's part of his package is roast jokes.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. And maybe I can relate more. I know who Dennis Rodman is. Maybe I can relate to these jokes.
Maybe we'll get them,
Yeah.
Let's see.
When John Sally was in there and his penis was in there, he was in the hallway.
Oh my God, dude.
Okay, John Sally's got a big cock.
Boys holding it up in the middle. Like they were wrestling a python on the Amazon River. John Sally's member is huge, ladies and gentlemen. If you close your eyes and listen carefully, you can actually hear the ghost of Milton Berle weeping.
That's a hip. The kids probably love that one.
What is
Everyone loves a good Milton Berle reference.
It's time to get off John Sally's dick.
You know the guy from Best Damn Sports Show period? That guy.
He does have a notorious. By the way, John Sally does have a notoriously huge penis.
Right.
I just feel that's worth mentioning.
Does.
My task here tonight is not an easy one. What do you say to a huge, overgrown African-American icon who loves the spotlight,
Easy.
has worn women's clothing in public, and has had sex with countless females? You say, nice to meet you, Oprah Winfrey, but she's not here.
Is Oprah taking shrapnel here?
Oh, it's terrible.
Thank you for the advice. Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Rodman is here tonight. Dennis Rodman is here tonight. I don't have a joke for that. I just like to see white women grab their pocketbooks. Dennis, this is a roast. So I was going to rip you a new asshole.
Could have fooled me.
Just pierce it and put a fucking metal ring through it. So instead, I'm going to salute you, Dennis. Salute you for being like myself, a Jersey boy. Dennis Rodman was born in Trenton, New Jersey. Yeah. Making him the largest and most disturbing looking thing to come out of that state since Snooki's vagina.
All right, can we stop?
Yeah, these are all just like whatever.
These are all Reddit jokes.
Yeah. But
When did the jokes start? The crowd's punching his jokes up.
Is that what that interaction was?
Yeah, people walked out.
Jesus. Yeah, but why is this Dennis Rod? I feel like Dennis Rodman would be big enough to get like. Is this Friars Club? They say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. It seems like not a great audience.
No.
All right. Should we get Mike Morse? We'll keep an eye on him, and maybe we'll hear some of his stuff in the future. Who knows?
Boxing Dad just wrote Dennis the penis. Good one, dude.
Yes.
All right. So should we get to this who's funnier clip now?
Oh yeah. That's where we were. All right. Let's see who's funnier.
But like I can sit here and say I have a kid she's 17 years old. She has Down syndrome. She is objectively funnier, has better comic timing.
Wow.
Makes more in super chats when she live streams than the Uncle Rico show.
Wow. That's rough.
She has a lot of people who love her. Yeah. And that's a kid that's not working with a full deck. And she's still able to overcome that and out funny those fucking ass clowns.
Somebody's going to clip this and people might see it. Are you cool with that?
I'm totally fine with it.
Even Chad was like, Jesus.
Wow.
He's out mud sharking the mud shark here. All right, now you got to pull up the Down syndrome daughters clips. Let's see. She was on the dais at the Dennis Rodman roast. It's funny that he's like, no, legitimately, my daughter has Down syndrome and is funnier than Mike Morse. Like, I'm being serious, just so you folks know.
I think he was.
Oh no, yeah, 100% he is, because he referenced it later. Like, he actually does have a daughter with Down syndrome, I guess.
This one is These Aren't Even Shows.
Oh yeah, so he's talking. It's a hilarious way to define what Shuli and Mike Morse and Bob Levy have been doing. So if you don't know, I guess I should say, the Shuli network. It's interesting to like call it a network because Shuli's on it's just all of Shuli's stuff. You know, it would like me calling this a network, and it's Blind Mike Project and Why Are You Laughing? It's like, I guess.
Does he not have other shows on his like page that he takes money from? That
I think that's what he brought on like Ray DeVito to do. But for a while, it was like the Uncle Rico show, hosted by Shuli, Bob Levy, and Mike Morse. Miserable Men, hosted by Shuli, Bob Levy, Mike Morse. The Bob and Shuli show, hosted by Bob Levy and Shuli. So like it was just a bunch of Shuli's shows. So I don't know what exactly defines a network, but I think Brian's gonna describe it to us.
I actually forgot that Bob Levy was the one that accused Chappelle of stealing from him, wasn't he?
That was a hilarious story, though. Yeah. Here's like I got no issue with Bob Levy. I think he's very funny. And also I think he's come a long way from the. I wish I had heard some of his more recent stuff when we did that. The episode of Why You Laughing that we included him in.
Yep.
We did Otto and George, Voss, and him. I wish I knew what he was up to now because he seems like he's doing a lot better, just like mentally and everything.
Agreed.
I think he's clean and sober now, and he seems like he's doing. He was a lot angrier guy years ago, and like now we'll make jokes about like threatening Stern and shit like that. I think he's gotten far beyond that stuff, so he seems like he's in a good place.
Let's see.
If not lying is the one good thing about you, then there's not that many good things about. I mean, come on, Ray DeVito again. Like this is a guy I don't know. I see him on Kevin's show, and I'm like. He seems, and I can say this because I got a kid with Down syndrome, he seems slow.
Oh, wow.
Like, he doesn't say anything funny. Mike Morse doesn't say anything funny. Bob sits there and smokes like a fucking chimney. Like, these are not
really hates Bob.
Shows. Like, these are not shows that these guys do, you know? Beating a dead horse like the Uncle Rico, like, and that's one of the things that pissed me off about Shuli is that, like, he drove John off the internet with his nonstop assaults on him. Is what I believe anyway. And I feel like John would still be around. Carl did like little segments. John fought back. It was fun. But then Shuli goes on with this arrogance and this smugness. Like he's done something more than John. It's like, if you look at their post-Stern trajectory, John has done far more than Shuli. Shuli's down there in Alabama trying to eke out a living from super chats and selling crystals for his fucking wife.
I mean, Bryan's tearing him apart here. It's great. And I love his dismissiveness. But I have no dog in this fight. I don't give a fuck about you. Despite the 15 minutes we just spent on Mike Morse. I'm not really taking sides.
I wasn't expecting that either. We were just like
just random, yeah. But I'm not really taking sides, but I just love how dismissive Bryan's be. It's hilarious to again. Much like the retirement thing. He doesn't say like the show sucks. He's like, these aren't shows. These are whatever this is. It's not a podcast. I don't know what it is, but
it's literally Kevin Brennan just taking pictures of super chats now.
But it's interesting. There is something to be said for like, you know, I don't think John is a very good guy. I actually think he's kind of a scumbag. But there's something to be said, and I think Shuli seems like a decent guy. But there is something to be said for the fact that, like, after John left the Howard Stern show, like he did the Tonight Show, and he was on that stupid Stephanie Miller show. Like, I mean, he squandered every opportunity he had, but like he did he made a movie. We watched it on Patreon.
I can play a drop right now if you want.
I'm sure I'd rather you didn't.
Yes, you sure wouldn't.
So, but like he did so there is something to be said for that like if you're trashing John for not doing things when you guys were both on Stern, it's interesting to look at what they did after. Like there's something to be said there.
Definitely. We are on our last clip from this. It's them talking about Carl.
Oh, well, let's hear this because this is kind of like you can tell Chad's conflicted here.
Yes.
Now Chad's in a real pickle because him and Bryan Johnson have just bonded for an hour or however long he was on.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's going to be like, Carl sucks. And then Bryan's going to be like, oh, I'm going to turn my Shuli hate to you.
As a matter of fact, he doesn't. And I'll tell you why.
I mean, I don't even hate Carl. I really don't.
Like, I think, and I remember I was listening. I think it's when you kind of trolled him where you were like, Stuttering John's a good guy. And I remember listening to that show and like, you know, having listened to every episode of WATP, I'm like, I wasn't really that familiar with you. So I was like, what is this guy doing? Like, why is he doing this? It like kind of fucked up the show. It fucked up the flow of the show. And that's where Carl's disdain for you started, I believe.
Yeah. No, and we were friendly after that. We did another show. We'd send messages and I don't know. It's kind of more or less escalated into something for some reason or another. I think the Stuttering John stuff was getting old. So I think he was like, we'll turn Chad to the next Stuttering John. I'm like, okay. So that's when I really started.
This is where Chad's such a bullshit artist. And by artist, I mean finger paintings, because he's not particularly good at it. But
Bullshit
his story
macaroni.
changes every fucking day. Me and Carl were friends. I've always hated each other. I've never texted him in my life. Well, we texted like good buddies after that. We've done shows together. I don't even know the fucking guy. I was a big fan. He's never been funny. His story changes with whatever the way the fucking wind's blowing.
Jim Brewer says you suck.
So that's where I can't get on board as much as I'm enjoying Bryan in these clips, and I'm even like Chad's coming off well in these clips, but I can't get on the Zumock hype train. I can't root around in the mud with the mud shark because it's just he will turn again. If you babyface him here, he's gonna turn heel eventually.
Well, I was on the Zumock train before all this shit happened. I believed his story, maybe not the Kumia part, but that he was jumped and all that crap.
A real rube.
And I got fucking suckered.
Yeah.
That black guy was telling.
Turn Chad to the next Stuttering John. I'm like, okay. So that's when I really started trying with YouTube in January. Like I had one, but I really wasn't putting any effort into it. I was like, now I have to defend myself and fight back, where John just ran away. And now, I got a little bit of a following from it, and people seem to dig it, and as much as Carl thinks he's running the podcast thing, not a lot of people like him either. It's, there's people that don't like him, but he has his enemies too. Dr. Chow is his actual.
I think he meant to say a lot of people don't like it. It's hilarious to be like, not a lot of people like him. And he's like trying to be magnanimous. That's Chad being political there.
That's
so that was that on that, huh?
Yep.
Well, I find it very interesting. We'll obviously keep an eye on Mike Morse and his comedy teachings.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a message from Boxing Dad. Be like, I've made contact.
Again, let's not ruin it. All right, let's not fuck this one up.
If we don't hear from him, then you guys can go public.
Yeah. Yeah, so I found that interesting. I look forward to Carl's response to all of that, because what Carl said to me before we recorded WATS, he told me he was just watching it, and he said that Chad was being complimentary of him. That didn't come off in the clip we just played. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing. It was only available, Chad takes it down and puts it on his Patreon, so it was only available in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a different part where he kind of turns all the way around on Carl, but I didn't hear it.
My biggest takeaway is I have very quickly become a huge Bryan Johnson fan.
Big Bryan Johnson fan. He followed the show account, I think, right before we started.
Who are these socials?
No, Blind Mike Project. They're just our Twitter account.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So hopefully, Bryan, if you're out there, we're on your side here.
We love you. Please don't
come after us.
Please
I
don't
can't take
eviscerate us.
my psyche. I'm not equipped to be in these wars.
The next show is both of us in the fetal position crying, and that's it.
He got to us. All right. Now, all right.
That's what I'm saying.
Now we got to get to Richard Ojeda, I guess, because that's very quick.
All right.
First, can you play just... we have a very quick drop of Richard. I'm a little concerned about Richard. I don't know what kind of route he's going.
Hold on.
What?
We got something to play first.
Oh, boy.
Box of medication and a hammer-made scar. Coal mining vet, the Las Vegas star. He's just a shit-talking, curb-stomping, Trump-hating, redneck name dick.
Can I talk about it now?
Yes.
Thank you. That's our Richard Ojeda intro. But now it's time for Richard Ojeda, folks. It's time to curb stomp some bitches. Curb stomp some jackaloons.
Jackaloons.
Richard is taking an approach. And listen, I always thought Richard was, kind of a progressive, open-minded guy, accepted all kinds.
Mm-hmm.
This drop right here, it's very quick, but it's very disturbing. I don't know what route he's going down on his program now.
Hitler was one of the best people to have ever been on this earth.
No.
I did say he was becoming a socialist, didn't I?
Richard. Richard, what'd you think of Kanye West's most recent album?
Hitler was one of the best people to have ever been.
Doesn't even make sense. Do you like his music though? Is what I was asking.
How's that hit you?
What was that?
That was Jimmy Kimmel.
What's that from?
We had that. It was like a year and a half ago. I forget what he said. He was going after someone, and he just goes, "How's that hit you?"
Probably Trump. I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
How's that hit you? That's the first time we've ever had a drop on this show that I wasn't ready for.
I'm going to start making more.
Well, hold on. Just one more question for Richard Ojeda, and that would be like, I know you think Biden's done a great job. Who do you think is like the best leader of all time?
Hitler was one of the best people to have ever been on this earth.
People? I asked just specifically about leaders, Richard.
Hitler.
No.
Hitler.
I don't know. He's going down a weird road, this Richard Ojeda. I guess he's turned alt-right. I don't know if he's going to be wearing a MAGA hat now. I don't know what his deal is. But
Hitler.
Can I hear it one more time?
Hitler was one of the best people to have ever been on this earth.
Richard, who were your role models growing up?
Hitler.
I don't know. It's such a childish fucking thing, but it makes me laugh.
I mean, like, honestly, you can clip anyone saying Hitler.
Of course. You can do that with every episode of this show.
The whole sentence.
Hitler.
No, so there was
people to have ever been on this earth.
I can't get him to stop saying it. Richard, enough.
Hitler.
Please stop it.
Hitler.
Well, there's someone we know you love Hitler, Richard. Jesus. There's someone he doesn't like, and that's Greg Abbott. So I listened to a couple of Ojeda episodes this week. This is the one thing that stood out to me.
So just so you know, for some reason, I don't know what he did to this video. I couldn't download it, so I just have the full thing. So just let me know when to stop.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I have it, but just so you
know. Yeah, so it's interesting because Richard. By the way, breaking news: Richard has been in talks with a radio station to simulcast his show.
No,
that's what he says.
Oh, that would be the best if he takes phone calls.
Well, no, it sounds like it'll just be his half-hour radio show, like his half-hour YouTube stream, but they're just going to also broadcast it on the radio.
Who the hell would put this crap quality on the radio?
Well, he's in West Virginia, don't forget.
How come someone can't get
North Carolina's in now, but
a blue Yeti microphone is $100. Just spend it if you're going to do this all the time.
Well, and he's paying a producer who by the way has a significantly better microphone than him.
I know. I can relate.
So I don't know what his deal is. Oh, do you have a better microphone than me?
Oh yeah, I got the whole Rogan set up here, dude.
Oh well, excuse me.
Dayla with $2 says for the Mike Morse classes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate that. Yeah, contribute to our Mike Morse fund. We gotta learn how to be funny on this show.
We should do and we'll forward it all to Box Eating Dad because I'm sure this eulogy is gonna cost a lot.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so Greg. So Richard's always talking about even when what made me think of the radio show thing is immediately after that he mentions the radio show idea, and right after that he starts talking about like Marge the train wreck Green, as he calls her.
I don't like her either, to be honest.
He says these people are fueled on hate. All they do is hate. That's what wins them elections is hatred. And then he says shit like this that make me think like, why don't you like that? That's a little weird to me. Based on
anyone that wants to make an Uncle Sam picture with Ojeda, I just happened to by accidentally stop on a perfect freeze frame. Here you go.
All right. And yeah, let's hear that. So he's talking about Greg Abbott, who's what, the
Governor
senator from Texas or governor of Texas?
Yep, governor.
Because of their stupidity, and that's a fact. He was literally looking for an excuse to kill a black person. Found one, and he did it.
Sorry, I should clarify. He's not talking about Greg Abbott there. He will in a second.
I like how he said found one.
It'd be great. It'd be great if he was just wildly accusing Greg Abbott. He's like, hey, he killed a black person. And then that's the whole clip. I'm like, all right, on to Opie.
Found one.
He was literally looking for an excuse to kill a black person. He found one, and he did it. And he deserves to be sentenced to prison for what he's done. And the governor of Texas is literally talking about giving him a free pass. Because the governor of Texas doesn't give two shits about anybody being killed, especially a person of color. Because Greg Abbott is a racist piece of shit who deserves a wheelchair.
Holy shit. Jesus, Richard.
I hadn't heard this yet. He deserves his wheelchair.
Richard's just gonna come at him with a fucking baseball bat.
Oh my God.
Like it? You like your knees, Greg Abbott?
Jesus Christ.
He deserves a wheelchair.
He's gonna get syndicated and people are gonna immediately cancel him.
Can you imagine this? Like, so this is the thing. I remember this when Christian Fourier here in Boston got in trouble for the Don Yee stuff when he did the Asian voice.
Yep, the Brendan Schaub situation.
Yeah, when he did the Brendan Schaub impression. One of the arguments I remember battling. This is when I would get into battles on Twitter, and I remember someone arguing with me saying like something to the effect of, these are public airwaves, and I shouldn't be subjected to this. Just like scrolling around the dial and having to hear this hatred. And I've always found that to be a bullshit argument, frankly, because if you're abiding by, FCC, like there are rules and regulations that go into radio. So if you're abiding by those, who gives a fuck? But I would say in this case, if you're just driving around West Virginia, let's say,
Yeah.
You're flicking your dials, you got your kids in the car, and there's a man saying, first of all, the Hitler thing, but then also there's a man like, he deserves to be in a wheelchair. Let's curb stomp this motherfucker.
You're just throwing through the dial and then
Hitler was one of the best people to have ever been on this earth.
And then you click, then the radio keeps scanning, it gets to the R&B station. You're like, I'll go with this.
Finger boys.
What does that mean?
I missed. What?
I don't even understand.
I was trying to hit Ojeda again.
Oh, okay.
I just hit the wrong button. We've been talking about how we've had semi calm Ojeda recently.
He gets riled up from time to time. You gotta listen long enough. That's the main struggle that I have, is you gotta listen to every episode to find the real, you got a mind to find gold. He doesn't read the chats anymore. That's another thing that's really hindered the program is he doesn't read the chats. He does read roll call twice in his show now.
I can hear his blinks on this video though.
All right, go back just a little bit because he has more wishes for Greg Abbott.
And the governor of Texas is literally talking about giving him a free pass. Because the governor of Texas doesn't give two shits about anybody being killed, especially a person of color. Because Greg Abbott is a racist piece of shit who deserves a wheelchair. I hope that he doesn't work from the damn waist down. I hope he can't get it up. I hope he can't stand.
Hold on. Well, he's getting into a passionate speech. This is like Martin Luther King-esque as far as passion goes.
I hope he can't get it up.
Oh, you heard that already.
Yeah.
Oh, you heard his wish for erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
I don't even see how the two are correlated. I think he's a bad governor, so I hope his dick doesn't work.
we have to drink this whole thing in here.
And the governor of Texas is literally talking about giving him a free pass. because the governor of Texas doesn't give two shits about anybody being killed, especially a person of color, because Greg Abbott is a racist piece of shit who deserves a wheelchair. I hope that he doesn't work from the damn waist down. I hope that he can't get it up. I hope that he can't stand the fact that he can't be intimate with a woman. He deserves it. Like I said, I hope that there's a stairway to heaven, and that son of a bitch is going to have to sit out.
This is poetry.
This is amazing.
This is slam poetry right now.
I hope there's a stairway to heaven.
he's giving this is a passionate speech that he's giving. He really, by the way, I thought of this morning, and I think I'm trying to think of a good number. 1,000 feels like too many, but well, I'll say 1,000 for now. When we hit 1,000 subscribers on Patreon, we should play the Richard Ojeda drinking game. Ooh. And just come up with a couple every time he threatens violence on someone.
Drink.
Jacqueline obviously has to be in there.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. What's the other one that he says?
Curb stomp, finish your drink.
No, we'll die.
He doesn't say it that often.
No, that's true. He doesn't say it that often. That's a fact. But what's the other one that he says? The other catchphrase he has? God damn it, I'm blanking.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
There is another one.
There is another one, but I can't think of it. The chat will know.
They'll tell us right now.
God damn it.
Alcohol poisoning in 15 minutes. Yep. Probably.
Yeah. So because what made me think of it is the episodes are always exactly 31 minutes.
That's true.
So I think that's enough time where like even if we get shit faced, we can just turn it right off pretty quickly.
I'll be sober enough to not make us look bad.
the Richard Ojeda drinking game. I feel like that for 1,000 subscribers, I think that's a good way to celebrate.
Yeah. So let's
we all play.
Yeah. We'll have to go like later on a Friday.
This is bugging me. His other catchphrase now, and that's a fact.
Jacqueline.
Let that sink in.
Let that sink in. Yes.
Yeah. So you got to drink for all of these, and in a half hour, I still think you'll get pretty fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We could do.
All right, sorry, I want to hear this.
Whenever the producer plays the music in the wrong spot.
That hasn't been happening. John has been on his game.
Damn it.
He got rid of the broad, I think, is what happened.
That was the best.
Yeah, so let's again, this is poetry. Like this is beautifully if a politician gave this speech, you'd be like, this is beautifully written. This really captivates the nation here. I want to break this guy's knees. You know what, Greg Abbott? We're coming for you, you son of a bitch. You better watch out.
You know what'd be so funny too is because Abbott wouldn't be able to feel it, and Richard would just be punching his legs, and he'd just be sitting there, and he'd be getting more mad.
He doesn't work from the damn waist down. I hope that he can't get it up. I hope that he can't stand the fact that
What's the matter, Greg? Cat got your penis? I hope that he can't get it up. The fact, like, Richard's mind goes weird places. Like last week, we heard him say, not just that I hope this guy goes to jail. I hope he like smells like shit and is afraid to shower because they're gonna rape him in the showers. What? How did your mind get there?
That's all from the military. Fucking drill sergeant screaming shit.
All right, sorry. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting. Let's hear him out here. Maybe he closes with a good argument.
Oh, maybe.
Because he deserves it. Like I said, I hope that there's a stairway to heaven, and that son of a bitch is going to have to sit it out because his wheelchair won't go up it. Fact. Okay, let's see.
God, is there an elevator here?
I'd count that as a drink, by the way.
I like that what Richard's saying there is in a weird way, in a roundabout way, he's saying that like handicapped people don't get into heaven.
It's a sacrifice he's willing to make just to keep Abbott out.
As we all know, you lose your legs, you lose your faith. You ain't getting the big man upstairs if you ain't got no legs.
And that's a fact.
And let that sink in. I can't believe I forgot that. Fuck.
No.
Well, I want to see. I've always loved Richard's transitions. So if we could just play the last few seconds of that.
Oh, let me go back here.
Fact. Okay, let's see what kind of
Let me go back a little further so we can drink it in.
a wheelchair. I hope that he doesn't work from the damn waist down. I hope that he can't get it up. I hope that he can't stand the fact that he can't be intimate with a woman because he deserves.
And I have a dream today
It's the same thing.
that Greg Abbott will never fornicate for the rest of his days. I have a dream that Greg Abbott will be judged not by the girth of his penis, but by its flaccidity.
I hope he aspirates, and because his legs don't work, he can't roll himself over.
I have a dream that Greg Abbott is able to have sex, but he is deemed impotent. These are dreams that I have.
I hope these new immigrants surround him and beat this man to holy hail.
I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
And I hope that there's a stairway to heaven, and that son of a bitch is going to have to sit it out because his wheelchair won't go up it. Fact. Okay, let's see what kind of memes of the day we got. Hunter's laptop.
All right, that's it.
Hunter's laptop.
Imagine you're that passionately wishing that a man not dies, has to suffer through life with the loss of his legs and no functioning penis.
Yeah, he's like,
What kind of memes we got today, Johnny?
stairway to heaven, water slide to hell.
And I hope he has sons, beautiful athletic sons, and their legs are taken away. All right, what do we got for memes today, folks? Let's read some memes.
I forgot about that. Last call.
After I said that I hope a man doesn't get into the afterlife because he loses his legs, I'd like to read a few memes, if you wouldn't mind.
Should we see what the first meme is?
No. They're it's too much. Oh, God. Is flaccidity a word? I thought of that on the spot, but then I realized I don't know if that actually fits.
I don't know. It might be, but I could also just be thinking of validity.
Yeah.
It's a word now.
All right. Now, there's one. Let's see. I suppose one last thing based on time. One last thing I wanted to discuss today, and that is that do you recall, Craig, the last time we talked about Opie was about a month ago?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
And we heard him say to Anthony, he was very mad at Anthony for taking that video of the guy that looks like him.
Leave me alone.
That's exactly right. He said, leave me alone. You leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. So I gave it about a month. And I said, we should check in on the Opster. See if he's talked about Anthony in that time. See if he's broken his rule. Because I haven't seen any videos of Anthony talking about Opie since then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't subscribe to his show, but it's possible that he's talked about him. But I haven't seen any. Usually they put that stuff on YouTube.
I think he has, but I've also seen Anthony compliment his beer show a few times.
That was before all this stuff.
Oh, that's right. Well, I've seen him do it again.
So in the last month, I haven't seen Anthony talk about him. But so I went to YouTube and I said, has Opie talked about Anthony at all in that time frame? Now, a lot of videos were labeled Opie and Anthony. I discounted those. So keep that in mind. I eliminated those because I was like, well, he was on the show. So, if you're saying the title, you have no choice but to mention Anthony.
Right.
So what I've assembled is not just video. He kind of said the same thing about Norton, too. And Sam, I believe, catches some shrapnel in these. So these are every mention of his former colleagues that he's done in the last month or so. Now, remember, Opie's at a place where he doesn't like mentioning these guys, so we probably have nothing to play, right?
Yeah, is this a dealer's choice? Do I just pick one?
Well, let's go in order of how I sent them, and I would just read the title. We don't have to play the whole clip because some of them are very long.
All right, let me pull up the order because I don't have them in the order you sent.
Well, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. But I just want you to read the titles of the videos. I feel that's most important because he titles them in a way that is strange for a guy who's never going to talk about Anthony again.
This first one is entitled "Anthony Ruined Opie and Anthony Legacy with His Race Crap."
All right. Well, that seems really directed at Anthony. So I guess we have to hear a little bit of this.
I would say this one's short.
Okay.
All right. Daniel, another $2. You should be grateful for Anthony. No, I'm not grateful for Anthony. Anthony completely ruined the Opie and Anthony show and the legacy of the Opie and Anthony show. Completely ruined it with his.
I gotta say, the legacy that went from girls shooting ping pong balls out of their snatch to destroying interviews, and then people other than Opie just shooting the shit and being funny. Like, I'm a big Opie and Anthony fan, but their legacy is having people go into a church and fuck each other.
Right.
Let's not get too ridiculous about tarnishing the legacy. We just did an episode about them having a homeless man in who threatened to rape the Secretary of State. So I don't know if the Opie and Anthony legacy was pristine. Great show, but Jesus Christ, Opie.
It's a great point.
Race crap. Do you notice that no one wants to talk to Opie and Anthony? I wonder why that is.
Well, people don't want to talk to Opie. Anthony's been on Joe Rogan. He was just on Legion of Skanks a couple weeks ago. Some people don't mind talking to Anthony. Opie's the one that no one will talk to.
People have tried. I want to say, in his defense, he says no to everything.
Yeah, I know. I think like Chris DiStefano tried to get him on, and he had some weird interaction with him.
Legion of Skanks tried last year and the year before that.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is, but
I would love to see him on Legion of Skanks.
Here's the thing about Opie, though. He did Rogan once.
Did he?
A long time ago. Long time ago. I think Rogan might have been in like his house still or something.
Oh.
And I don't think it was like terrible, but it's the weird thing about Opie is like he's not an interesting guest. You know?
Yeah, I just was handed this job right after high school.
Literally, I didn't send it to you. There's literally a video titled, maybe it's sarcastic, because like I said, I didn't listen to it. It is titled, "I've been in radio since I was 18. That better be a fucking joke, because literally that's what people mock you for, is saying that over and over and over again.
Oh, maybe he's talking about that.
He might be. I didn't listen to it, but it'd be hilarious if he wasn't.
I will say, I've caught some of his live streams over the last little bit, and they're not as terrible as they used to be.
Well, the vegetables have lightened him up, but we'll get to that in a bit.
That's true.
You got
I think you get the gist of that video.
Okay.
What's the next one, if you wouldn't mind?
Let me check. This one is, let me pull it up. F Jim and Sam and their show.
Okay. Well, it seemed I was told that Opie was in a good place in his life and he's gotten past a lot of this, but it seems he put this video up, so we should give it a listen, I guess.
JD straight shot, always good for one. Jim and Sam has squandered the inheritance they received from O&A. They stink. Yeah, they could go F themselves. The only reason they're in those seats was because SiriusXM was trying to hold on to the giant O&A audience that me and Anthony brought in with the help of Jimmy, obviously. Of course, you got to say that. And
I like that he feels like he's obligated to say it.
I will say that's the nicest thing he said about Jim in the last
But even that, he's like, I gotta say that, I guess. It's like Opie takes a lot of credit for the comedians they had in, which some of it is deserved, and I think Opie does have a good read on like who works on a radio show and who doesn't at times. But like, you're not getting consistently Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Patrice, Colin, Voss, Bobby. All these guys were brought in because of Jim Norton.
Right.
If they didn't know who the fuck you were, I mean, like maybe when they were number one, at WNEW, but like when their careers were in the fucking tank after the Sex for Sam thing, like Jim bringing those comedians in is what helped their. You want to talk legacy? Like their legacy is having all the guys I just named on and bullshitting with them, and that's because of Jimmy. Like I truly believe that.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, Anthony even said so.
Yeah.
And it's just Opie.
It's the only reason they sit in those seats, because they were trying to hold on to the remaining people of the giant Opie and Anthony audience, and then they fucking turn their show.
Well, I mean, they fired some of the pieces of Opie and Anthony, right? If I recall, I believe a guy named Greg Hughes and Anthony Cumia were both fired.
Oh, I was thinking of other people. Yes.
But I mean, if they wanted to keep the Opie and Anthony brand that badly, I feel like maybe they would have kept Opie and Anthony.
And Opie like never talks. He got fired for taking a picture of someone taking a dump
Yeah.
in the office.
An idiotic thing to do.
Oh no
But
shit.
I would listen to Jim and Sam here and there. I haven't listened in a little while. I like Jim Norton. I like that show. I think they're funny when I hear them. It's not as good as Opie and Anthony, obviously, but I think they would tell you that.
The best episodes of Jim and Sam were when Anthony Cumia came in.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about Opie is like he kind of, if he wasn't so angry, he would have a point here. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, yeah, there is some of that where I think Sam could have done a lot more with his career if he was like Sam was such a great instigator and shit stir.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
he
he's
just
doing it with WWE right now, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure he does fine. But I just mean like on that radio show, I wanted him to be a lot better than he turned out, I think.
Yeah.
But both of them are good on that show. Like again, Opie hasn't listened and he gives this narrative out that like they suck. It's like it's a fine show, No, it's not Opie and Anthony, but they're not claiming it. They're not pretending it is.
I'll listen to clips of them all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't have however, was it 3 hours at the show?
I like the comics they have in, and Jim is always funny with them. That's all I really care about.
Right.
Yes, they're not making headlines, I guess, but it's a fine show.
Who is in I guess Stern still, but I mean the
But
latest.
that's just because Stern has like a good PR team, I guess.
Yeah. Did you hear the latest? He's like, man, the Knicks won't come say hi.
Oh yeah.
I have that if you ever want to listen to it.
We talked about it on KMS, but it's
that's right.
crazy.
That's right.
Version of Opie and Anthony. They're not even doing anything new and different. F those guys.
All right, so that sounds like a guy who's a little bitter still.
Why is he? Why isn't he swearing? Does he say?
I don't know. That's always there were times at like Sirius where he wouldn't curse. It's a weird radio thing. I don't know.
Maybe because he was so used to.
Maybe this is in the first 5 minutes of the show. YouTube has these rules now.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that we should probably watch out for that.
I mean, we'll do it to an extent. Like we edit the intro of Why You Laughing Now. We bleep out the curse words.
Yep.
So I'll play ball to an extent, but it's like I kind of hate that some shows like bleep out all their curses and stuff like that. Now it's just like I don't know. I feel like and not that this show is gonna. I don't think YouTube is gonna be like, well, Mike Geary is cursing, so we should change things.
We should take him out.
But like those shows that are big, that's my point. Is like those shows that are a lot bigger just shouldn't put up with that shit. Like you have the power because I don't know if they realize it, but like YouTube kind of needs podcasts like that to be the giant that they are right now.
Oh yeah. Would you like the title for the next video?
Please, if you wouldn't mind.
Opie talks Jim Norton and his junk.
All right. Well, it seems like he's talking about Jimmy a lot still, even though he said like those guys are obsessed with me, is what he would always say.
Obsessed.
Norton might make like a vague reference to Opie here and there, but very, very rarely.
Opie's talking about just Jim doing a Chip Chipperson impression. He won't leave me alone.
Yeah, like he says these guys are obsessed with me. This is the third video, and by the way, these three that we've played so far are all in the last 7 or 8 days. So
Something Jimmy said pissed me right the F off.
Already angry?
As far as all this goes. So somebody yesterday said that Jimmy's making fun of people that are like begging for super chats on their YouTube, right?
Okay, hold on.
This Jim
Opie has not heard it. Opie has someone told me. Listen to how angry he is, and it's because someone told him something.
Yeah, right. Well,
Go listen to it if Opie, if you're this mad. Listen, it's one thing to like take the high road and say like I didn't even listen to it. It's another thing to be this mad and also not listen to it.
but that's also his crutch for I listen to it, but I don't want you to know I listen to it.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But also, like, I do think he's dumb enough to just listen to what like Twitter says to him. What I think he's saying here is like someone not even a friend of his, someone tweeted at him, "Hey, Jimmy made fun of people that take super chats," which, by the way, folks, ain't nothing wrong with super chats.
It's not funny at all.
Nothing crazy about asking for those. So don't feel shamed by Jim Norton.
I'm gonna like, wait, which way do I have to point? It's about down there.
But yeah, Opie seems very mad about something he hasn't heard.
Norton. Back in the day, we did a massive comedy tour, with all the comedians that are now massively huge in their own right.
That might be why it was so massive.
With boxes and boxes and boxes of his junk. So Jim Norton should shut up about making fun of people that are begging for super chats on their live streams. I saw it. Like poor Kenny. What are you doing, Kenny? I'm unloading his boxes of shirts and CDs.
No, what Opie's saying, believe me, I get he's saying it in a hilarious voice. I'm in stitches here. I feel like I'm taking a Mike Morse class. But what he's saying is like, yeah, Jim brought merch with him. You know what I mean? Like he can go through this thing where it's boxes and boxes and boxes.
Oh, he's talking about selling them at the shows?
Yeah, Jim brought merch.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the shit he used to get signed. This is even crazier then.
Yeah, no. Jim brought like fucking, you could buy a Jim Norton t-shirt on the way out of the virus tour.
All right, this is crazier than I thought then.
Anything else. And after the show, the merch was 90% Jimmy and 10% everybody else. And I remember also he would get
Jim was the comedian on the show. The other comics, probably wouldn't sell as much, so that makes sense.
He was headlining the whole thing.
Yeah, and Jim's the headliner, so he kind of deserves that, I feel like, right? I don't know.
Definitely.
And brought too much stuff. As he's just lining up shirts and CDs and DVDs.
Yeah, they were his. He wasn't selling like Styx albums.
Here's an autographed picture of Seal and Jim Norton. Do you want to buy it?
I've got a Jose Canseco rookie card here. Who wants it? I've got Beanie Babies in pristine condition. No, he's selling his merch. That's what they do to fucking make a living. You know what I mean? And like the goal is to not have to do that. Like, I don't think Chappelle is out hawking t-shirts after shows anymore.
Right.
The goal is to not have to do that. But like at that time, Jimmy was making a little extra money. Who gives a fuck?
Seriously.
So Opie's very upset with that. We get the vibe there. Now should we go to another video? Because maybe he calms down as time. We're actually playing these backwards, but let's pretend as time goes on, perhaps he gets calmer.
Let's see. What's the next one? The next one is him posting an old video.
Of who, Craig?
This is just a home video of him and some guy named Anthony. It's Opie. Opie plays Hey Anthony.
It's weird that I thought you were going to leave Anthony alone, but here's some footage of old Anthony.
Hey Anthony, we're gonna have a black president in 20 years.
First of all, why is he bleeping it?
Huh?
Why is he bleeping it?
I don't know.
But also, like, you're literally just posting. This is how much integrity Opie has after he goes on the rant of, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. He's literally posting a video of Anthony.
So that was the thing.
It's just a video of Anthony. There's no other way you could spin that to be like, hey, we partnered on this thing. It's a video of Anthony.
That's why it's so funny, too, because then Anthony posts that video of that guy that looks like Opie, and it gets like 5 million views.
Leave me alone.
Leave me
They're obsessed with
alone.
me.
He doesn't even look like me.
everyone thought it was Opie.
There was no caption, and everyone went, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god, it's Opie! And he's like, I mean, he looked like me a little.
He just had the same hat.
All right, what's another clip?
Let me see here. I don't know.
Again, these are all within the last 3 weeks, but
I don't know exactly which.
we could just play it. I think you get the vibe of the titles at this point.
This is a vegetables one.
Oh well, actually, this is my favorite. You know what? We'll end with this one.
Okay, so.
I think because it's my. And then we have to put. Yeah, we'll end with this one, and then we'll play. We'll introduce our guest. Forgot about that.
What's that? Oh, the game.
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, fuck. Which video? Shit. Hold on. Oh,
you do that before the show?
No, I have them all up here, but it's him with Chad here.
Oh no! Skip. Just do the one with the vegetables.
Oh, okay. I thought you said do that one last, so I thought you were going to continue doing the rest of them.
No. Stick with me here. Just do the one with the vegetables.
Gotcha. Here we go.
Would you rather? No, now I'm asking myself.
Oh,
I'm asking myself the final question.
this isn't how this works.
So, if you guys don't know, this is Cardiff Electric. And he's also on there with, I believe, Corndiff Electric.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe someone else. It's too much for me to pay attention to.
I don't get it.
But they're all vegetables, and I think they're like, I think maybe it started as a joke where they were trolling Opie.
And now they're just best friends.
Yeah, I think they've grown to all kind of like each other.
But you'll like.
And so Opie has been much more laid back since I will say that. Like he's been much more now. And this clip is kind of proof because this is the only one they're in, and he is a little more laid back here. But we'll hear also some evidence that I'm not 100% sure if they're not trolling him still.
I'm not convinced.
Would you rather? No, now I'm asking myself.
Oh,
I'm asking myself the final question.
this isn't how this works.
I know, but you'll like this.
Can you text me the question?
No.
Oh,
No.
You're gonna like this. This is why I stopped at the beginning.
okay.
I'm asking myself, would you rather podcast with Anthony Cumia
No.
or podcast with the vegetables?
Ooh.
Okay.
Anthony Cumia?
Even they're like, I don't know.
Spit it out, you bastard.
It's music, bitch. Vegetables over Anthony Cumia.
Oh, tremendous. Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but I love him.
Cardiff.
No, it's the other one, I think.
No, that was
Tremendous.
I think that was the potato that said that.
Oh, maybe it was Cardiff, but I love that voice, whatever it was.
Oh, okay.
Tremendous. Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is there, but yeah, my point was basically just to illustrate that. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Opie doesn't stand by his word, apparently, saying he won't ever talk about Anthony again.
Oh, and he goes, I'm gonna ask this one. I'm gonna.
Yeah. So we'll end here with a game, I believe.
Yep.
Hackright has prepared another game. He's getting a feel for the show a little better. He realized last week that I am in fact blind, and so he had to craft a new game. And so he and Jerry Seinfeld collaborated on this. And by the way, I think I like the game that he came up with, because I realized by doing this we are getting dangerously close to just being WATP. Now we now have some maniac making games for me. He might as well be a fucking potato.
Oh shit. Whoa.
But I think it's a fine line, and I think we're walking it here pretty well, because this is different. This is Hackright collaborating with world famous comedian Jerry Seinfeld.
Welcome back to another edition of the Jerry Seinfeld Game on the Blind Mike Project. You know, you visit Epstein Island one time, and your community service is doing comedy for a random YouTube show. I was told last week's episode of the Jerry Seinfeld Game was a real shit show. I didn't know Blind Mike was an actual blind man, I thought it was more a nickname like Tiny or Dog.
He's got
Because
2020.
of this, I wanted to come up with a game an actual blind man can play. So I decided to do a little research into this fun little show you have. And boy, was I surprised when I discovered this.
So, yes, we did do an episode of Why You Laughing entitled, Is Jerry Seinfeld Funny?
Boy, let
And
me
my
tell you,
ultimate conclusion, I believe, was no.
Mike was furious by the end of this episode.
Go back and listen, folks. But I did a follow-up episode about Seinfeld where I was very complimentary of you, Jerry. I don't know if that'll appease him or not, but
Fellas, this yours? Is Jerry Seinfeld funny? Am I funny? You know, let me go ask my 289 Porsches. Hey, Porsches, am I funny? How about my billions of adoring fans? Hey, fans, am I funny? How dare you, Mike and Craig? But alas, as any great artist, in this anger, an idea was formed. If you're so good at letting the good folks out here know who is funny or not, and why we laugh, fine, have at it. Welcome to my new game, Jerry Seinfeld's Is This Funny?
I think this is a very good idea.
Where are you, blind?
I gotta say though, I thought that he was going to have a clip of this show, which would have been very funny.
Oh, he just plays.
If he just played a horrible clip from us.
I mean, you can find me bombing at least every episode.
Sure, yeah. So, maybe that's something for down the road. Don't do it next week because we'll know it's coming. But I thought that's what he was going to do, but he didn't. What does Jerry Seinfeld have to bring to the table?
Hey, tell me, is this funny? And explain why or why not. In the end, I'm going to tell you the right answer. And if you're wrong, the chat will bury the loser. And if anyone in chat says this bit isn't funny, f you, I beat you to it. Okay, let's cue the tape. Blind Mike and Craig, I ask you, is this funny? Craig, don't fucking talk until this clip stops playing, or I swear to God, I will come through this screen and bitch slap that Cartman-looking face of yours. Okay, let's begin.
I did a new joke last night. Do the joke now. I don't
Ray
know.
DeVito.
Keep it or where to go from it, but I like the idea of it. The NBA playoffs going on and how Kobe Bryant's like obviously he's one of the greatest players of all time. It's one of my all-time favorite players, but like him dying in that helicopter crash, like you can't really blame that pilot. Like it's Kobe's helicopter. Like if I'm a helicopter pilot and Kobe Bryant's on a helicopter and he gives me a pep talk, like, dude, you can do this. I'm like, fuck yeah, we're taking off. I'm doing this. So like, I'm not going to disappoint the Mamba. It's like getting a pep talk from Michael Jordan. It's like, yeah, I'm going to hit that. I'm going to fucking take it to the hoop. I'm going to do this. And then then he just ran into the wall. It turns out the Mountain took the charge. And I saw the replay. The Mountain didn't move. The Mountain didn't move. All right, I'm not doing it justice, but that was.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go with no.
Pause, please, if you wouldn't mind. Holy shit. So yeah, that was rough. Hey, I don't know if Ray DeVito has that joke worked out on stage, but good Lord, it never goes over well when you're trying to describe someone else's material.
Mhm.
But struggling to describe your own is pretty horrific.
He's like, I'm just working on this bit.
It's crazy when you're bombing to one person and then have to realize it and go, I mean, I'm not doing it justice, but
Bombing, talking about a fiery explosion on a mountain.
good Lord, that was rough. All right, well, I'm going to say no. Craig, what's your vote?
I'm saying way no.
Okay,
No,
all
no,
right.
no.
Let's see if we're correct here.
Craig, thank you for shutting that sarlacc hole of toxic gas called your mouth. I know that was hard for you. But Craig, now tell me, you heard the joke by Ray DeVito. Is this funny?
No. No, it's not.
Way to sell it.
Okay, Blind Mike, you've heard Craig's opinion. Meaningless. Now let us know. Ray DeVito, Kobe Bryant, a horrified community devastated by the loss of a legend. Is this funny.
It didn't tickle my funny bone, Jerry. I don't think so.
Okay, fellas, I sure hope you picked correctly. The correct answer is, no, that is not funny. And it was also not smart, Ray. Not too smart, being super disrespectful to
All
us.
right, I got to say, hold on here. This is where the collaboration of Jerry and Hack Ride gets a little muddy. Because Hack Ride, he was trying to sell me on this Ray DeVito joke before.
He hates Ray DeVito.
hates Ray DeVito, and has been trying to get me to shit on him for a couple weeks now. Also, huge Lakers fan.
Yeah.
So I think Hack Ride writes the scripts and Jerry just reads whatever's on the prompter. I believe that's how their partnership works. So this gets a little murky. It's not quite the Jerry that I know, but let's hear him out.
6,000 active gang members who love Kobe Bryant like a brother, son, and father. See, the thing is, Ray, if you're gonna swing for the fences, before you step to the plate, you can't drop the bat and then step on your back, blacking out your eye and knocking out your front teeth. You were a boy in a man's world, and now it's time for a spanking. You must apologize for this assault.
This is a lot.
And until you do, I, Jerry Seinfeld, must renounce my Jewish heritage and join my brothers in the Islamic faith and declare a fatwa on Ray DeVito.
I don't know what the fuck is happening anymore.
Face desert justice. Okay, that's all for this week's episode of the Jerry Seinfeld Game. We will see you next week and every week after for 4 to 5 years or until parole. Thanks again, Jeffrey. See you next time on the Jerry Seinfeld Game on the Blind Mike Project.
Thank you, Jerry. That was tremendous.
He's blind, right? We're 100% on that? Okay, great.
All right. I think that was very well done.
That was very funny.
I think that was a good collab between him and Jerry.
Oh man, does he not like Ray DeVito?
Really hates Ray DeVito and is asking me to be the weapon that he uses. I don't know. I have no beef with Ray DeVito, but boy, that was a rough clip he sent.
Sure, but I mean, he was just working out the material. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it's probably terrific. Jesus Christ. I thought that was a very good game. And I think that actually has potential.
Oh, yeah.
For Hack Ride to find clips, ask us if it's or for Jerry to ask if it's funny.
Yes, Jerry to ask us if it's funny. Go to blindmike.net, go to the merch store, get the Hack Ride club coffee mug club.
Yeah, if you like that game, buy the Hack Ride mug, blindmike.net. You'll see the store there. You'll also see links for Apple, Spotify, YouTube, every place that you can get not just this podcast, but Who Are These Socials and Why Are You Laughing? We're trying to get those YouTube numbers up, so we appreciate if you subscribe, tap the notification bell, all that, or just listen wherever you get podcasts. And if you like what you hear, you want to hear more, if you want to hear bonus episodes of Why Are You Laughing, Quincy, and if we hit 1,000 patrons, the Richard Ojeda drinking game. Richard Ojeda, I'm sorry. If you want to participate in all that stuff, then subscribe to the Patreon. And all those links are at blindmike.net. What's going on with a very good show these days?
We had to take the week off, actually. I just do little stuff on the Patreon. There's no free episode out this week. That's all. Matt was on call, and so was Tim. So it was just, let's not even risk it.
Well, the guy knows how to plug, folks. What's going on with Very Good Show? Nothing. So go check out verygoodshow.org.
I like to say, check us out for free. If you like it, come to the Patreon. But now I have to be like, just come pay money and just pray for the best.
Yeah. Well, and for those of you that haven't heard it, go listen to old episodes, see if you like it, and then check out their Patreon if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that.
So thank you, Jerry Seinfeld, for joining us. And I think is that it?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing something, but who knows? We'll talk about it next time, and see you guys later.
And we have a mean transition.
Sappers clear the way. Airborne all the way.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.